The best and worst foods to order for delivery. Hi there, I'm Jeff, and welcome to Plain English Lesson 307. JR is the producer, and he has uploaded the full lesson to the website at plainenglish.com/307. And if this food-related episode whets your appetite for more plain English, you can find each and every one of our 307 lessons at plainenglish.com by typing in the lesson number. So plainenglish.com/ and then the lesson number. Coming up today, a lot of us are ordering more meals for delivery these days, but some meals travel better than others. If you've ever opened your order and thought, this is not the way it looked in the picture, then this lesson is for you. The English expression is hit or miss, and JR has a song of the week. Pretty much every form of delivery has increased in popularity during the pandemic. People want to make as few trips out in public as possible, so they're shifting to services that bring things right to their doors. In the U.S., food delivery companies like DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats have all seen huge growth over the past few months. They were popular before, but they're more popular than ever now. Many restaurants that never delivered before are now jumping on the delivery bandwagon. Just one problem. Not every type of food is good when it's delivered. What was delivery before the pandemic? Ordering food for delivery has always been one of those things people have done when they're a little tired after a long day, don't feel like cooking, and want comfort food. Comfort food is food that makes you feel good, usually traditional recipes, heavier, things like that. Americans will think pizza, macaroni and cheese, meatloaf, Asian noodle dishes, fried rice, things like that. Now, there's a reason why there are so many food delivery options in the comfort category. For one, they're delicious. Your local Thai place may not be the authentic Bangkok-style noodles, and the pizza may not be, well, let's face it, the pizza definitely is not the classic Neapolitan pie, but there's no denying that it's delicious. Now, these comfort foods have something else in common, too. They all travel well. Even when faced with temperature changes and plenty of jostling around on their journeys, they still maintain their form and are tasty upon arrival, or taste just as good reheated. That's why Chinese and Thai restaurants and pizza restaurants are so successful with delivery. Now, sadly, not all food survives the journey from restaurant to doorstep in good condition, and that's a problem for some restaurants that serve, say, steak. There are some foods that really must be served hot or fresh. What happens if you order a burger and fries? I'll tell you from experience. I ordered a burger and fries just once for delivery when I was living in New York. The food was lukewarm by the time I got it. That's to be expected. The problem was it had also steamed up the box in the process, which left the French fries soggy. The ketchup on the burger had soaked into the bun. Rather than being fresh and springy, the bun was crushed and a little soggy. Lettuce can sometimes protect against that, but not this time. The melted cheese wasn't soft anymore. It just didn't have that fresh off the grill sensation. And unlike pizza or noodles, there's no coming back from that state. You can't reheat soggy fries and make them crispy again. And a good burger has a mixture of temperatures. The meat is warm, the bun is room temperature, and the veggies are cool. If you put the whole thing in the microwave, that sensation is ruined. So what are the best and worst foods for delivery? Burgers don't work, as we've seen. Anything fried tends to be questionable. Like French fries, fried food tends to lose its crisp after a few minutes, especially when it travels in a box or a bag. On the flip side, anything meant to stay cold, like milkshakes and ice cream, has a very short window of time before they reach a point of no return. Plus, there's no guarantee that delivery drivers have a cooler. Unless you are certain of the delivery time and temperature control, I'd say skip that one. I suppose you can put melted ice cream back in the freezer, but that's not the same. Combinations of textures make things tricky too. Anything with a sauce is risky because the sauce can soak into the other ingredients, like bread. Pasta isn't usually a good bet. After pasta is cooked, it can turn hard again if it's not eaten right away, and it doesn't reheat very well. Poke bowls, the Hawaiian-inspired bowls with diced raw fish, rice, fresh veggies, and sauce, are a rising star in delivery. Despite having that variety of textures, the ingredients don't come mixed together, so the separation of ingredients in the bowl prevents everything from mushing together, which is key. Plus, poke bowls are meant to be served cold, so that prevents the steaming and temperature control problems. As long as the bowls are stored in insulated bags in transit, this is a good option. Mediterranean delivery is popular in the US now. These usually have a combination of rice, spiced chicken or meat, veggies, feta cheese, dressing, and falafel balls. These are good as long as the ingredients are kept somewhat separate on the way. Meat can be hit or miss. Slow-cooked meats, like barbecue, are perfect for delivery because they are still good even if they've cooled off a bit, and they can easily be reheated. Something like a fillet of salmon or a steak will not travel as well because you need to get the temperature exactly right. Anything that depends on fancy presentation, like fine dining, probably won't be worth it either. All the movement involved with delivery can mess with the presentation. I've done very, very little delivery during the pandemic. I used to get food delivered Before the pandemic, back when I was traveling for work and when I had a long commute, I just couldn't keep up with buying enough food and cooking it. But now that I'm home all day, not traveling, not commuting, I'm cooking almost all my own meals. I do miss the variety of restaurant meals, but I would rarely order healthy delivery meals. I'd always open the app and think, I can order this sensible baked fish with multigrain rice and steamed vegetables, or I could order pulled pork and mac and cheese, the comfort food. The comfort food all too often won out when I had those apps open. What food do you like for delivery? And what food do you find does not work when delivered to your doorstep? I'd love to hear in our free Facebook group, which you can find by visiting plainenglish.com/Facebook or in the Plain English Plus forums if you're a Plus member. Today's expression is hit or miss. If something is hit or miss, then there is a chance that it will be good and a chance that it will be bad. Or in some cases it's good, while in some cases it's bad. Do you remember how you heard it earlier? I said that when ordering food for delivery, meat can be hit or miss. There's a chance your meat will be good and a chance it will be bad. If you order meat off the grill and the temperature needs to be precise, like a medium rare steak, then delivery is not a great option. You want to slice that steak about 5 to 7 minutes after it's done cooking, and then eat it right then and there. You don't want to have to reheat it in the oven later. It's just going to lose its flavor and texture. However, if you order slow-cooked meats like barbacoa or pulled pork or smoked chicken, then you can heat it up in the oven at a low temperature and you'll be fine. So, meat can be hit or miss when you get it delivered. It's good in some cases, bad in other cases. Good if it's a slow-cooked meat, bad if it's a fresh grilled meat or burger. So what else is hit or miss in this way? Ordering salmon, even at a restaurant, is, I think, hit or miss. Sometimes the restaurants will cook it well and it can be delicious, but just as often, I think, restaurants overcook salmon and it's just dry. So I'll only order salmon if I know the restaurant is going to do it well. Is a Big Mac from McDonald's hit or miss? No. You might like it or you might not like it, but I can tell you one thing about a Big Mac or really anything on the McDonald's menu. It's not hit or miss. It's going to be the same every time. A spin-off in the television world is a new TV series based on the characters of a previous series. These can be hit or miss. Sometimes a spin-off can let the show's creators dive deeper into a character that just didn't get as much attention in the original. Better Call Saul is an example of a spin-off that's really successful. Frasier from the 1990s was a spin-off of a character in the classic show Cheers. But sometimes the spin-offs are just too much. They're trying too hard to continue a story that's already died. I don't love the show Friends, but I recognize that it was really successful, really popular in the 1990s. But did you see the spin-off called Joey? It was about the Friends character Joey after he moves to Los Angeles. That's a spin-off that just didn't work. It bombed. Have you seen That 70s Show? I bet some of you have, but I bet you haven't seen That 80s Show, because That 80s Show was such a bad spin-off, it lasted only 13 episodes. So what can we conclude about spin-offs? Can we say they're a good idea, or can we say they're a bad idea? I would say spin-offs are hit or miss. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really bad. The weather can be hit or miss. If someone asks me when to visit Chicago, I say June to September is the best time. If you come in May, the weather can be hit or miss. It could be cold and rainy, or it can be bright and sunny. If you come in May, just be prepared. That's what I say, because the weather can be hit or miss. If it's a miss, well, we have great museums. When's a good time to go skiing in North America? Probably mid-December to mid-March. Sure, you can try skiing in late March or even in late November, but skiing is hit or miss that early or late in the season. Sometimes you'll get good powder, other times it won't be as good. If you describe a person as hit or miss, you're saying that person is sometimes good, sometimes bad at something. Should we have Jeff give that really important presentation next week? I don't know. Someone might whisper, when I'm not close by. He can be kind of hit or miss. That means sometimes I'm good at presentations, but sometimes I'm not very good. Time for JR's Song of the Week. We pick an English song to feature in this space every Thursday, and this Thursday, JR has selected You Know I'm No Good by Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse is a tragic figure in music, extremely talented, but she also struggled with her own demons and died of an alcohol overdose in London in 2011. The song You Know I'm No Good was about her own betrayal of her husband and her alcoholism. In the lyrics, she seems to be apologizing for her own flaws and almost explaining that her flaws can't be changed. One of the lines says, "I told you I was trouble. You know that I'm no good." You can play that song from your dashboard at plainenglish.com or from the link we post in our free Facebook group. To join the group, just visit plainenglish.com/Facebook, answer a few questions, and you're in. Now that's all for today. Remember, stay away from burgers and fried food when you place your next delivery order. Try a salad with the dressing on the side or a poke bowl if you haven't tried that yet. I do like poke. I haven't had it delivered, but maybe that will be a good option if I run out of home-cooked food one day. Remember, we'll be right back here on Monday, so be sure to join us.